Hello, this is Demetria Clark, the director of Heart of Herbs Herbal School, and today on the Heart of Herbs Herbal School podcast, we are going over our final herb for spring out of our 10 herbs for spring series. I hope you've had fun listening, and I hope that you've learned something new, or maybe you've been inspired to learn something new about herbalism or what's going on in your own backyard. Okay, so let's get started with number 10, garlic mustard. What if I told you there was a plant taking over forest floors all over North America, crowding out native wildflowers, changing the soil, outcompeting everything around it, and the single best thing you can do is eat it? Well, this is garlic mustard, Alleria petiolata, and it might just be the most useful invasive plant you've ever cooked with. Fun fact. Garlic mustard was brought to North America by European settlers in the 1860s, most likely as a food herb and a medicinal plant. It's been a kitchen staple in Europe for centuries. Nobody could have predicted it would have become one of the most aggressive invasive species on the continent. One plant's medicine is another ecosystem's problem. Garlic mustard is a biennial, meaning it takes 2 years to complete its life cycle. In its first year, it grows a low rosette or kidney-shaped scalloped-edged leaves hugging the ground. It's easy to miss. In its second year, which is when we really see it, it shoots up tall, sometimes reaching 4 feet, with the distinctive heart-shaped leaves and clusters of tiny white 4-petal flowers at the top. The easiest way to identify it is to sniff it. Crush a leaf between your fingers and sniff. Garlic. You smell garlic immediately. Nothing else in your spring woodland smells exactly quite like this. The aroma is your confirmation. You'll find it in disturbed woodland edges, forest understories, roadside trail margins, and parks. And it almost is always in partial shade. If you live east of the Rockies, you've probably walked right past it hundreds of times. Fun fact number 2. This is a chemical warfare artist. Garlic mustard does not just outcompete native plants by growing fast, it actively cheats. Its roots release a compound called glucosinolates into the soil that disrupt the underground fungal networks that native trees and wildflowers depend on. It is essentially poisoning the soil community for competition. It is really good at this too. Here is why this plant is such a big deal ecologically. Garlic mustard has essentially no natural predators in North America. In Europe, where it evolved, there are dozens of insects and fungi that keep it in check. That's why we're always talking about invasive species. That's why it's always really important to pay attention to that and not to buy or grow or spread native seeds from other areas into your native area, because you could be really screwing with the ecosystem. So what can you actually do with this plant? First of all, it's a food because garlic mustard is generally delicious, especially in spring when the leaves are young. It's great to eat. They can be eaten raw or cooked. They will have a garlicky mustard bite. Cooked, they mellow slightly, and you can saute them like spinach, stir them in soups, pestos. All kinds of wonderful foods can be made using this herb, and use it, you should. Medicinally, garlic mustard has been used across Europe as an antimicrobial herb, particularly for topical wounds and skin infections. So what makes it ecologically aggressive actually gives it genuine antibacterial and antifungal properties. The flowers are also edible and have a mild, sweet taste. So you can definitely find them locally. You can definitely find lots of uses for these. But the reality is that this is an herb that you're going to want to go and harvest and get a lot of use out of because you're actually doing the environment a favor. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day. If you're interested in herbalism, please check out heartofherbs.com. We have lots of different courses and classes and a great student community if you join us. So please feel free to check us out at heartofherbs.com and always email or call us with any questions you have, and maybe we can help.